Ever since Vulcain have been under new ownership, they've really dug into their history, their heritage models, and they've been steadily reissuing watches over the past few years. They started with their Cricket, their most iconic watch. It's been worn by presidents, and it really is a piece of history. They've also reissued a number of other watches that are heritage to the brand. They've released a Skin Diver, which I think is one of the best dive watches that you can get under $2,000. It also has one of the best bracelets on any dive watch that you can get today. I really love the bracelet on that watch. They've come out with dress watches and chronographs. Today, we're taking a look at one of their chronographs. It is a Monopusher heritage chronograph. So this was a chronograph that is, of course, historic to the brand. And it looks like a vintage watch on your wrist, but it is thoroughly modern. We'll go through all the details in the video. I have one hands-on today. So let's take a look at a Vulcain heritage Monopusher chronograph. Right now for me, Vulcain, probably one of the best brands out there for heritage models. All of their models are heritage models that were vintage watches that they reissued. And if you follow them on Instagram, they're doing a few really awesome things right now. One of them, there is a clock that's at JFK Airport here in New York City. The TWA Hotel, they have a clock that is a Vulcain. It's in the middle of the hotel. It's the former TWA terminal. That clock was there for many, many years. They just reissued it as a table clock, and it gets 3 different clocks, separate clocks within that table clock. It's really cool. It's really heavy looking. It's made out of metal. I'm very excited about what they're doing. They actually released one of the best watches of this year, in my opinion. It's their Nautic Skin Diver, and it's because of the bracelet. I actually have that watch on right now. I'll show you that in just a few minutes. This is their Monopusher Heritage Chronograph. This is the black dial. It gets khaki indices though. So these are not old radium. They're darker than old radium. So just to give you a reference, these aren't loomed obviously because this is a dress watch. This is like a tan or a dark tan color. You do have gold hands. So all of the hands, the chronograph and of course the hour and minutes, the seconds hand, and they're faceted. So you could see them when you're moving them around. Obviously, again, no loom in the hands because this is a dress watch. That second hand, the chronograph second hand, the running second hand, that is curved because it reaches the outermost portion of the dial. And then the minutes hand is also slightly curved on the edge because that also reaches almost to the edge of the dial. This is a pulsations dial. So it's a chronograph and you have running seconds at the 9 o'clock and then a 30-minute counter at the 3 o'clock. Obviously, there is no date. This is a hand-wound movement. And it's a monopusher. A monopusher, basically all that means is that you have one control for the chronograph. Press it to stop it, press it to reset. Press it to start it, press it to stop, press to reset. You can hear those clicks, they sound really precise. Very nice clicks on this chronograph. This gets a Sellita SW510M, that is a manual winding version of Sellita's chronograph movement with that monopusher complication. This is an extra complication to make this a monopusher. You don't have a second chronograph pusher. It's a little bit harder to make, a lot more vintage feeling. This is a very vintage looking watch. You get a very vintage sapphire crystal on here. It is a very high boxed sapphire crystal, as you could see. You get a signed crown right there with the Vulcain logo. I really love the Vulcain logo. I think it looks so good on all of their watches. It's just that V that goes across. You get the Vulcain case back, which is pretty much similar across all Vulcain watches. Again, they're very vintage looking and they are screwed in and you do not get to see the movement. Although they do decorate this movement pretty well. According to their website, they do decorate these movements. However, you do not get to see them. I think the only movement that you get to see is their in-house movement, which is in their Cricket watches. And hopefully I will have one of those to show you guys soon because those are awesome watches. Basically, their most iconic watch. Although Vulcain have a lot of iconic watches that you may or may not know about, but they have been around for a very long time. They've been making watches for a very, very long time. And a lot of their watches are heritage watches. So that's why they have so many watches to reissue. Watches like this. They also make a traditional chronograph. This was a chronograph that was available in the 1950s, and this was a reissue. It's a very faithful reissue. I do also want to say their straps are always beautiful. This gets a black calf leather strap. These are phenomenal. They really make a very nice strap. I don't know who their supplier is or how they make these straps. I just love their logo. And again, you're getting that logo on the buckle. The buckle is really nice. There's a bunch of different finishes on it. It's obviously a custom buckle to Vulcain. They put that on a lot of their watches. They also made this in a really nice size, very true to the original. I think it might be slightly bigger, but not much bigger than the original. It's around 38.8 millimeters is what I measured with my calipers, and only 12.8 millimeters thick. So that is not very thick for a chronograph and a Monopusher complications. And then you have a 46 millimeter lug to lug, basically spot on at 46 millimeters. The crown is large because this is a hand winding chronograph. You do not have a screwed in crown. You get 50 meters of water resistance, which I think is good because obviously this is a dress watch, but you have a very large grippy crown and you do have to wind this on a pretty regular basis. You get 58 hours of power reserve with this movement. So you have a large crown. It's around 6.3 millimeters for a 38.8 millimeter watch. That's very good. If you follow me on Instagram, or if you've asked me the question, what's your most recent or favorite watch that you have in your collection currently? I would say it's this watch. I absolutely love the bracelet on this watch. It really does make the watch for me. It's a great looking watch without the bracelet, but when you add this bracelet on, I think it just looks phenomenal. And for the price that they're charging for this watch with this bracelet, you get on the fly micro adjust. I think they should put this bracelet on all of their watches, in my opinion. They should make this bracelet available for all of their watches. That's how much I love it. I think it is incredible. This is a great looking watch. It's their Nautic. I just love it. I cannot get enough of this watch. Literally my favorite watch of 2024, at least my favorite watch that I got in 2024. And there is the Heritage Monopusher, the black dial on my 7.5 inch wrist. You can see it does not wear thick. It does not wear like a large, thick Valjoux 7750. It's thinner because it is a hand wound movement. You do get some complications with that. Obviously, you're getting the Monopusher, but it really doesn't thicken it up too much. So under 13 millimeters thick, I think that works really well. This is on the black leather strap, the black calf strap. They make this available with other straps as well. I would go the brown route actually with this. I like the black. I think that they make a really beautiful brown leather or gray leather strap that would go really good with this dial. And it would also modernize it a little bit as well because this black strap looks somewhat traditional. If you put that gray leather on here, I think it would look a little bit more modern. It looks like a vintage watch. I think people would mistaken it for a vintage watch. Price on this watch is $3,050. It goes up if you want it on a crocodile strap because they do offer crocodile for these. The Cav leather straps, they're priced in at $3,050. I don't think they offer this currently on a bracelet. Maybe they do on one of those paper clip bracelets that work like a strap. Currently, they don't offer this on a bracelet, like a bracelet that we were just looking at. If you like the Nautic that I just showed you on that bracelet, I will put a link to that watch down in the description as well. Tell me what you guys think down in the comments below. Like I mentioned, it is a dress watch, so you're not getting any lume on here, but that is okay because it is a really good looking vintage style watch. Tell me what you guys think down in the comments below. Again, I will put a link to both of the watches that you saw in this video down in the description. Definitely go check them out. Anyway, guys, tell me what you think of this watch down in the comment section below. I want to hear from you guys. What do you think of Vulcain? What do you think of their watches in general and what they're doing? They're constantly reissuing some amazing watches, and this is yet another very good looking watch that they reissued. Tell me what you think down in the comments below. Please also don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell icon. It is super helpful for the channel and I very much appreciate it. Anyway, guys, thank you for logging on. Thank you for checking out this video. I will catch you in the next video.